Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for coming back. This isn't your first time here, is it? Today I've got USA versus Europe. Guide to cultural differences. I think this is going to be a good starting point. I'm going to dive into some more specific countries, into the cultural differences, but let's just go all of Europe. Sounds interesting.
Hey there, we are guides from Prague, Czech Republic, and this is one of our favorite pubs. But somebody just recently left a nasty review.
It looks so freaking cool. Just right off the bat, I just have to say, what? Oh, I thought that was like a pop-up on my computer. That looks so cool. It just looks so historical, legit, I don't know, real, not as commercial.
Complaining about the fact that the waiter simply asked them, "You want a beer?" The waiter brought the beer, and then once the person was finished, they brought another beer. And this guy was complaining about it. What is he talking about? That's the best thing. Once you're finished with your beer, they bring another one. So for me, from the perspective of a Czech European...
Wow, wait.
And this guy was... The waiter brought the beer, about the fact that the waiter simply asked them, "You want a beer?" They bring another one.
They just bring you another beer? Isn't that a lot of money? Here, that would be like $5. So yeah, they ask you every beer. How are they gonna know when you're done? You gotta tell them like, hey, don't bring me another beer after.
For me, from the perspective of a Czech European, that's a good sign. For an American, that may be kind of weird or rude. So today we want to talk about cultural differences between our country, our city, and United States of America.
Yes.
First of all, you may be surprised what the beer looks like. Well, we have a video dedicated only to that. And second,
wow. I need to watch that.
When I walked in, I didn't look at a beer menu or something.
It does look like it had a big head on it.
I think that may be quite common in the United States, where you have different beers on tap. Most pubs and restaurants in Czech Republic will have one brewery on tap in the pub. So that's why you can walk in and just say, "I'll have one." So I kind of like
wow.
that. You walk into a pub and you don't have a million choices, you just say one. In US, not only you have a choice of beers that are on tap, quite often there's 5, 10, 20, but also they will ask you, "Do you want draft or bottle?" What kind of question is that? The reason you go to a pub is to get beer on tap, to get draft.
Well, the reason you go to a pub here in America, which you would really call a bar, is to get a beer. Whether it's on tap or not, you're going to the bar to get a beer. It's not necessarily to get draft
beer. If you want bottled beer, you go to a supermarket. So for us, that's a...
Although that is, I mean, that does obviously make sense. You're just paying like 5 times more for the bottle at the bar.
Big cultural difference that quite often we don't understand.
And you're still expected to tip. Maybe not as much as... You're still expected to tip for a bottle of beer.
Now, a beer here costs 55 crowns. Let's call that $2.50 to round it up. If you go to a stadium, to a sports event here in Prague, it's going to cost around $3.
Oh my God, people would be wasted. They must be wasted there. Oh, at a stadium, 12, 11, 15.
Well, nothing like that in US. If you go to a pub, it may cost $5, $6, and you go to a stadium, and it can cost $10, $15, even $20.
20, I'd walk out.
Honza hates it whenever he...
But at a concert, absolutely. 20, yep.
Goes to a sports event, he's always shocked with the price of the beer.
It's horrible.
I myself, when I travel to US, I usually don't go to sports events, but I like amusement parks. And just recently, I visited Universal Studios. It was the most expensive beer I ever had in my life.
Yeah.
$15. I could not believe it. Now, I understand that going to amusement park, you don't go there for beer, you go there for the rides, but still $15?
I mean, basically you're in there, so it's a monopoly, and they can just wring you clean like a sponge, every last nickel out of you. Especially if you've got a family that, you know, the little kids, I want ice cream. Yeah, they're gonna charge you because there ain't nowhere else to go. You could leave and come back. That's annoying. It's like being in an airport.
Dude, it was insane. Why did I do that? Also, fun fact, I did not take a picture of the beer, but I did take a picture of the receipt. Now, the price of the beer, as I said at the amusement park, was $15, but I was asked to pay more than $16. Why? It's at 15. Well, tax was not included. What is this about?
What? Yeah, no.
We go to a place, and I'm not only talking restaurants, but any store shop, and the price tag is the final price you pay. It says
That makes a lot of sense.
55 here, it's gonna cost 55. They include the tax. Why don't you do that in US?
What do you think? I mean, really, it's basically just so that the display can say a lower price. Why else? I mean, everybody does it, so therefore, you'd have to make it illegal, I would say, because why would anybody want to say, "Hey, this is $6.50" when you can put $5.99 on there? Basically, they're making you pay the tax after the fact rather than them paying the sales tax after the fact.
It's just sad. I mean, imagine me, I'm 11 years old, I have my first dollar ever,
so
and I
used to
walk
it,
into a
though.
dollar store, looking forward to buy something for $1. I pick up the item, go to the register, $1.50. What? It's
$1.50? No, it would be $1.07, $1.08.
a dollar store, everything costs $1, not dollar store plus tax. Now let's switch from drinks to food. In any place, you can get some food, right? Mostly you pick something from the menu and no further questions will be asked. Well, in US, quite often they will ask you how you want it customized. Do you want bacon? Do you want that cheese? Do you want this cheese? Do you want this or that and that? It gets quite confusing for us. And you can
Really?
imagine me being 11 years old in US, in New Jersey, first walking to a restaurant, ordering a burger. Very much looking forward to it. And they asked me,
Good kid.
how do you want your burger done? I said, I don't know, very well done.
Do you want it well done? Yeah. Duh. No, I want it horribly done.
Thinking that
On a very well done, you get a brick.
they would make
Get a hockey
it
puck.
completely. Yeah, you can imagine what happened. They brought this black piece of meat that was unedible. And all my friends had a laugh about it. Now, to be fair, if you go
Wow.
to a restaurant in Prague nowadays and you will have a burger, they will ask you how you want it done. But once again, the fact that you can customize anything at a restaurant in US is very uncomfortable.
I'm trying to figure out, does he mean, a lot of food items will have follow-up questions, do you want the breakfast? Do you want sausage or bacon? How do you like your eggs, scrambled, over easy, whatever. But a lot of items you just order, but you can always customize whatever you want. You can say, I don't want that, I want this, double this, get rid of that, can you throw some onions in there? You can do pretty much whatever you like.
Common
Can you not do that elsewhere?
for us here. So if you come to a pub or a restaurant in Czech Republic, don't expect that you can customize every single item on the menu. That's why there's a menu with things that you pick from. I really hope we didn't lose our subscribers from United States. We love you guys. So to say something that we consider to
Yeah, that's not
be
rude.
amazing
I think that's hilarious. That is not rude. That's good to know. I appreciate it.
in US that we don't have here is water. Free water at a restaurant,
That's
at a bar,
wild.
anywhere. You sit down at a table, and in US, you get a glass of water. Never happens in the Czech Republic, ever. Not only that, if you ask for
wild.
tap water, quite often they will say, no, we don't serve tap water. And you will get a tiny little bottle of water that you will pay for $2, $3, $4. It's ridiculous. I know a restaurant where I go to, and I will always say, can I get tap water? They're like, no, we can't do that. We can only sell you a bottle. And I quite often say, I'll pay you the same price that I'll pay for the bottle for tap water. Like, no, we can't do that. Crazy. Why did
That's bizarre. Huh. Why don't they want to sell you tap water? I mean, that stuff is practically free, I assume. It is here in the States. It's practically free. A glass of tap water. For the restaurant, But that is really funny. Why is the bottle so small? A small bottle of water? Oh.
we cut to here, where we are here to thanks to our partner, which is
But I will say, I guess they make up for the money lost. You get free water here, but you got to pay $3 more for the beer.
Surfshark VPN. We're actually on the border with Germany, also many
Oh, I'm
like
skipping this.
US. Link is service in restaurants, describing the differences between US and Czech Republic. Now let's talk about service in restaurants and pubs, because that may be a bit of a shock for you when you come to Prague.
Look how freaking awesome this looks, though. What does a freaking Disney princess live up there? Does she need help? Is she trapped? Let down your hair. Like, look at this castle.
Yes, quite often it is rude and not polite at all. That's also a huge difference for us. Quite often it is rude and not polite at all. That's also a huge difference for us when we go to US and a waitress will come to our table and she will
well, that means something else.
Introduce herself and she will smile and she will maybe recommend something from the menu. That would never happen here. I mean, it's changing, don't get me wrong. Service is getting better. But if you go to like a local place, a dive bar, which I would consider this place to be, quite often they'd be grumpy, and it takes a long time for them to get to know you. And after maybe a 20th visit, they will share a little smile with you. Not like in US. First time.
Why? I just had to say, why? Oops, I muted it.
They will share a little smile with you. Not like in US. First time visitor, oh, I love coming you to our restaurant. My name is Wendy. Can I take your order? Hi, Wendy. Speaking of Wendy, when I was first called darling or honey in a restaurant in US, I was like, she really loves me. She just called me darling.
Oh, awkward. Well, you know, I mean, with the accent, yeah, the ladies would love that. So it might be true. But yeah, that must have been in the South. In the South, you can expect to be called darling, honey, you know, by any woman, especially serving you. That's funny. I think that's so odd. Why would you want to go through your day? Honestly, not just from the customer standpoint, but I mean, if I'm working, well, maybe I'm just a naturally kind of happier dude, but I wouldn't want to go around. Yeah. What do you want? Yeah. You know, I'd be like, hey, you know, how you doing? What's up? Why wouldn't you want to smile at people? Maybe, I don't know. Someone just give me an answer. I don't know.
I like that.
There's got to be some naturally happy people in Europe.
I mean, I like the bartender here, but he never calls me darling.
And, well, you know, are they not working for tips? Is that what it is? Because that's a big factor, you know. If your bartender is just scowling at you, they're not getting paid. So, yeah, they're gonna be nice, usually.
Let's make it stay that way, okay? We're tough guys. I like the bartender here, but he never calls me darling. Let's make it stay that way, okay? We're tough guys. Even though the two of us consider the service at places in the United States very good and very nice and very polite, there is one thing that we consider to be very rude. Oh. And that is, you're finishing your meal or maybe you're halfway through and suddenly a bill lands on your table. What is that? Are you kicking me out? That would never happen here. Any business, restaurant, pub, coffee place tries to keep you in the place as long as possible. You're done with your meal, they'll offer you a dessert. You're done with your dessert, they will offer you coffee. You're done with your coffee, maybe you want to start over and have another appetizer. In other words, they want to keep you in as long as possible. You have to ask for the bill. In US, very often, you're halfway through, here's your bill. I'm like, well, maybe I want an...
No. This actually has a lot of nuance to it. Here in the US, it would be considered rude for them to just slap the bill down and walk away. If they're going to slap the bill down while you're in the middle of your meal, they better say, hey guys, no rush. I'm just leaving this here for when you guys are ready. No rush, take your time. And then they walk away if they're trying to get a good tip. Now, usually it would be more toward the end. And a lot of times you will ask for the bill. But it would be certainly more toward when the entrees are getting finished. You know, they'll ask for if you want dessert, and if you normally say no. I mean, obviously some people, yeah. Well, you know, you answer. If you say no, then they'll be like, okay, you want the bill? Yeah. Or they'll just say, I'll get you the bill. So there is some nuance to it. It would indeed be rude to just slap the bill down in the middle of, and yeah, I've had waiters. Sure, that does happen, and that means the tip goes down from 18% to 15,
Another something?
and down from there depending on what else I do.
No. The bill is already on the table. Just weird. Speaking of the bill, let's dive into tipping. And that can create some big issues because that's a big cultural difference. In US, quite often we get asked, do you want to tip 15, 18, 20, 25%? Which for us is like, whoa, that's a lot. A quarter of the bill just tips because it's a tip-based country or tip-based business.
I like how he puts in a picture of him.
Because it's a tip-based
How big was your tip there?
country or tip-based business.
You leave him just the tip.
In Czech, that used to be very, very different. I mean, my dad would only round up the bill to the next higher number. If the bill was 99, he would round it up to 100. I believe most of our dads and mothers still do that. Nowadays, it's changing even here, and tipping goes from 10% higher if you're satisfied with the service. If the service is really bad, some people will simply not tip.
Absolutely. And a lot of people here in the States are not comfortable with that. But trust me, I am. And if you piss me off, that's called a goose egg. That's what you get. You get tipped a goose egg.
If that would happen in the US, that you would not leave a single cent on a tip, I've experienced people running out of the restaurant and be like, what happened? What did we do wrong? Like, why did you not tip? So tipping is
I've never got that.
very, very different, and I'm curious.
They would certainly throw a fit. They'd probably post it on their Instagram and cry. Well, you were a jerk. And you probably didn't, you got everything wrong. You never apologized. You left halfway through the meal to go smoke and came back. All our drinks haven't been refilled in 20 minutes. You get a goose egg. Then you can go cry.
What you will say about that in the comments. Whatever country you're from, I want to read what's the average tipping in your country. Now
I like to stick around 18 because it bothers me that it keeps going up. It used to be 15, then it was 18, now it's 20, and I'm like, no, I'm sticking it with 18. That seems good to me. And even 15 for lunch. 15 for lunch, 18 for dinner, unless I really like them. If they're really great, 20. Okay, yeah, sure.
cultural difference is not only huge, but I consider it to be evil, and that is packaging and garbage in general. I'm not talking about if you go to a place where it's a takeout or you go to a fast food. Yes, they put it in a paper bag.
Did you guys know that the subliminal messaging, Wendy's logo says mom? Mom. It's just like the food mom would make back home.
Either if you're in US or here. But I'm talking about if you go to a restaurant and they create so much garbage, so much waste, even though you're at a restaurant. Quick example. Mostly if you get a drink at a bar in the US, they put a napkin under it. So it soaks the moist that's running under it. Well, that's for one use only. Afterwards, they will throw away the napkin. How about they use coasters? Because you can reuse the coaster. And that's just one very simple example. Another one is, if you order a ketchup at this place, they will bring it, either a bottle, some places in US do that too, or they put it in a ceramic cup that they clean afterwards. Not that they grab 20 ketchups and throw them next to your burger. Or even in McDonald's in Czech Republic, you pay for every single tiny packaging of any sauce, any ketchup. So you think about if you want one or two. In US, yeah, can I get some ketchup? Here you go, here's 1,000,000 ketchups in tiny little bags. No, don't do that. I mean, you guys are going all Michael Bay packaging, like, hey, yeah, that's a plastic bag, let's put it in a paper bag, and let's put more packaging and pack it up. You want it to go? Yeah, let's pack it up more. Meanwhile, in Europe, yeah, let's get rid of plastic straws. They really destroy the universe.
Are you guys the ones that are responsible for paper straws? Or punch them when they bring me a paper straw? Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I hate paper straws. Okay, my drink's already fizzy. I don't need the air coming in through the straw to make it just foam in my mouth.
There's gonna be one hell of a discussion under this video. I absolutely love you guys from US, and I love going to US. Just so you know, we both do. Please don't cancel my Esta. Now let's drop the beer
I think he's hilarious.
for a minute and let's talk about coffee and coffee culture differences between USA and Europe. Triggered already? Well, you'll get triggered more. Yes, in Europe, we do not consider this to be a cup of coffee. That's a gallon of coffee. If it's more than a gallon, it's not coffee. This is a cup of coffee. By the way, SHOCKS,
Oh, that's so cute.
they have a cup of coffee in this pup. It's served in a ceramic cup. It's this
That is what my niece uses at her little tea parties with her teddy bears. What the hell is that? And it's got a handle the size of a finger.
size. You have a plate under it. It makes that little noise when you put it down. You sometimes even get a spoon with it, so
You're not having coffee with the queen, okay? Why do you need to be that fancy?
you can mix your little espresso. And this is how you drink it. Not a gallon. Doesn't fit in your car, so you can drive and sip
I'll take that.
on your little coffee.
Not from Starbucks, though. I'm not paying $7 for it. I'll go to McDonald's. I'll use the app. I'll use the deal. I'll get it for $1. And it's even better.
Soup throughout the day. Big difference, big shocker for us when we go to places in
That's
US and they
hilarious.
simply don't serve something like this. Now, hold your horses. I know that coffee culture in US is changing depending on which state you live in, if you live in a city and so on, but still mostly people think this is coffee and you cannot get this. It's sad for us Europeans.
When he says we think this is coffee, is he just saying all Starbucks is not, like, you wouldn't consider that coffee? What would you consider it? What is it? Is it just like cream with a little coffee added? It's cream and sugar with a little bit of coffee flavor. Is that what it is? I agree.
And you cannot get this. It's sad for us Europeans.
That looks pretty good.
Can I get a
Looks
cup
like
of
good
coffee?
coffee.
You want venti grande, grande XL, grande XXXXL, like the Italians drink it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Now this next cultural difference may sound weird, but I believe it should be addressed. And that is restrooms and toilet sizes in restaurants and pubs. And I'm not talking about the actual seat size, but I'm talking about you have a big pub and there's one toilet. There's like one restroom for the entire pub where there's like hundreds of people.
And at a lot of bars, pubs, there's no door on the toilet. Don't ask me why.
And the stalls where you can like sit to do number two are very like see-through. Like there's no privacy. Like there's no door at the bottom. Like if somebody peeks, they can see you. Yeah, it's kind of strange. And girls talk about that a lot. Both our girls talk about it, how like it's kind of weird that people can't really see you. So that's a big
There's a crack in the door. That's how you know if someone's in it or not. You look at them through the crack in the door. You look into their eyes. Oh, hi. Are you pooping?
difference. If there's a big pub here, it has many restrooms.
That is beautiful. My God. I would love that. I will not poop in a public restroom here in the States if a single other person is in there, because it is like, you know, you're pooping with them. It's not just you. I would love that. Wow. Look at that. It's like your own little apartment. Look, it's even got a number. Apartment number 3. That's where you're pooping.
Many toilets, and
Fantastic.
it can, you know, do the business people
It's beautiful.
need and
It looks like a sauna.
accommodate many people at the same time. And of course, the
I'm just curious what this little contraption is to the right of the toilet. What is that? It's not the bidet. Is that a bidet? No, that can't be. How would you sit on it? I don't know what that is on the right of the toilet.
business people need and accommodate many people at the same time. And of course, the
Beautiful,
ones
though.
we mentioned are not the only cultural differences between our continents. There's many more. We can talk about different units. We can talk about different forms of transportation, how we move
That's
around
cool.
cities and countries, how
What's that thing on top of it?
big are our cars and your cars, and many more topics. So let us know in the comments
Then I will be watching many more of these videos.
if you
And subscribe to watch me react and commentate on more of these videos, because this was fantastic. This is an excellent channel.
Want us to cover more topics, and while you're there, please don't be mad at us. This was not made to insult you, only to give you perspectives on...
I hate that anybody thinks if Americans, the fact that Americans seem to be gaining that reputation of being offended, that is so like the opposite of, I feel like, what we used to have. And that's pathetic. Okay, so I'm going to be the change I want to see and just let you know I am not offended in any way, shape, or form.
Our culture habits and your cultural habits that we experience when we go over to your lovely continent that we love to visit, but sometimes we're just like, huh, that's weird. We're the Honest Dudes from Prague. That dude's name is Honza. My name is Janek. We go by The Honest Guide, our channel full of content. So if you're planning to come to Prague, Europe, check out our videos. We do scams, we show you beers, we show you restaurants, coffee places, and cultural differences. I'll see you next week, Sunday.
All right. And well, that will wrap up this video. If you enjoyed that, subscribe for some more European, Britain, UK type reactions. Have a fantastic day, guys. See you hopefully tomorrow. Goodbye.